So.
Okay. Let me wipe the sweat off.
Oh, boy.
I need I wish I had a hair tie up here.
It would be so cool if I could fling one to you.
That would be really cool. I have hold on, this might work. This is a headphone holder, but maybe I can use it.
Well, technically what you could do, Kate, is you could split your hair like this, and you could make a little knot.
I can?
And just do that.
Is that real, or are you making fun of me?
No, I just did it.
That's real? God, I didn't know that.
I mean, sometimes if you don't have a hair tie.
Okay.
Whatever. Oh, you just took it out. Oh.
Well, it's I didn't want it on my neck. Okay, let's just do it. I need to bring
I'm not gonna lie, you look like Gaston right now.
No one podcast.
How's that ponytail?
Ponytail Gaston. Whenever the day comes we do that movie, I've got memes.
Okay.
I've got memes.
Oh, jeez, Kate.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters, 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 sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome back, listeners.
How's everybody doing?
I hope it's good. Sorry. I'm a little off right now. Hold on.
Katie's been looking for a hair tie, and instead we tried to basically do infomercials on how to keep a ponytail without a hair tie, and we have failed.
I could sell this on QVC at 3 a.m, and somebody would buy it, I think. So.
Yeah, and it would be Dad, because that's the shit you do.
Dang it! You're so right. All right, welcome back, listeners. I'm going to dive right in and introduce ourselves. So we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And Mary. There's something about Mary. I don't know if that's the actual tune, but they say that. So, there you go.
We got a bleeder!
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little surprised I didn't get, multiple text messages from you. So I'm interested to hear what you thought of this movie, because I had some thoughts.
Me too, Kate, and the movie is...
There's something about Mary. Excuse me. There's something about Mary. That's the movie. 1998, y'all.
Okay, I have some serious opinions about this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it anymore.
Yeah, it's okay. I kind of felt that way. There were some parts that I was like, this is funny, but those were infrequent.
Here's the thing, Kate. I went to do my fact check or fun facts or whatever, and I expected to see there's something about Mary doesn't hold up, or wow, cringe, something about Mary after 30 years or something, nothing. If anything, people are like, this movie still holds up. This movie's still hilarious. I think this movie is one of the funniest movies of all time. And I had this moment of am I the only one? Because...
Yeah, but were those reviews all by crotchety men? Because that would explain some things.
Okay, we gotta get into it, because if people are fans of this movie and they came to listen and we just start trashing it, we gotta explain where we're coming from, because we can break this down. Am I right?
Listeners, if you also are a fan of Love Actually, then get out, because you're not invited. Sorry. All right, so yeah, we need a synopsis. So would you like to do it? Would you like me to do it?
I think you should do it.
Oh, Jesus Christmas. All right. Well, the movie starts with two guys in a tree. Didn't remember this. This is a thing throughout the movie. I didn't remember it. Did you remember it, listeners?
No.
Because I don't think you did.
I did not.
No.
It gave me big Guardian Angel Grace vibes of who is this flying music duo that just shows up in scenes and no one acknowledges?
Yeah. Okay. So really it starts off like we're back in time. I want to say it was like maybe the 70s or something. And it's basically like, okay, it's high school. Ben Stiller's in high school. He goes to high school with Cameron Diaz. She's hot. He's a nerd with braces. Nerd alert. And they end up deciding to go to prom together. And no, it does not take an entire movie for us to get to that point. That happens in like 1 minute. So cool. But then he goes and like, you know, there's kind of some shenanigans that happen, if you will. So he does not end up going to prom. Instead, he goes to the hospital because he zipped himself. You know.
How'd you get the beans above the frag?
There were some parts that I was like, okay, this is like a little funny. But then a lot of these scenes just went on a really long time. And I was like, could have ended it a minute ago. Okay, so now we're in the future. Well, actually, we're in the present day now. Mm-hmm. Ben Stiller basically is this grown-up guy. He's still, for some reason, obsessed with this lady that he never went on a date with, technically. And I think only really talked to one day and didn't go to high school with. And it's weird. And it's weird, everybody. Let's just say it all together. 1, 2, 3. It's weird.
Weird.
Okay, weird. Yes, very good. So somehow it turns into this whole, okay, I'm going to get a private investigator, find out where she is, and whatever. So he hires this really, like, absurd private investigator played by Matt Dillon. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought he did a good job. I didn't like the character a lot, but like it was interesting to see Matt Dillon playing a character like that because again, I think of Pen 15 watching Wild Things and he's like totally not funny in that movie. So, but he basically is like, all right, I'm gonna go find this girl. And then he like, I guess starts like falling. He says falling for her, but we all know really what it is, people. He just wants to like get rowdy. So he like, you know, pretends that he's this like, I don't know, this guy, and like he lies to her, and then her and him date, but then somehow, that I honestly don't remember very well, Ben Stiller figures out that there's some stuff and that she's in Miami. So then he goes to Miami, and then he sees that Matt Dillon is lying, but he also is like being a stalker, and there was like a lot of stalker themes. Also, there's this other guy whose name is Tucker / Norm. Name's Norm. And that was just a wild ride in and of itself. Didn't think he'd be a big character in the movie, but there he was all the time. So, I don't even know. I don't know. What do I say? Ben Stiller likes her, and again, it's like the same subplot that keeps happening 10 times, where everybody is like being a liar to her, and she's like, that's great, let's go on dates. And you're like, what? And then somehow she finds out, oh, you were a liar, but also my ex-boyfriend, who is Brett Favre. What? I did not remember that either. Was, like, I don't know, just stuff. And then at the end, she dumps Brett Favre. What the is wrong with you? Who wrote this?
Never would happen.
No. I was like,
the ending?
Brett. And she doesn't. She doesn't. I'm confused.
Wait, you forgot about Woogie.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm not convinced I've seen this movie 100% through before this time, because I remember scenes and I do not remember Woogie being a thing. And then like right in the beginning, they were like, oh yeah, she's going to prom with Woogie. I wrote this line because this was funny. Ben Stiller goes, they were like, yeah, Woogie from like Barrington. And he goes, you mean Woogie from Borington High? I was like, that's funny. I appreciate that type of joke. Can we get more of those jokes? Thank you. Yeah, he's also a stalker. Basically, everyone's a stalker. Every male is a stalker. That's it.
And Mary gets Ben Stiller in the end. Cameron Diaz ends up with Ben Stiller.
She does. Also want to remind everyone, she probably knows him for a total of like 10 hours collectively in her life. So, you know, think about that. She dated Brett Favre.
This is one step up from Cardboard Cutouts, Love Actually.
But again, I was like, a man wrote this movie. Like,
Well, two, the Farrelly brothers.
well, what? Okay, that name sounds familiar.
So the Farrelly brothers did, so this was 1998.
Yeah.
Pretty much like those late 90s, they did Dumb and Dumber,
Well,
Me, Myself, and Irene,
oh.
Shallow Hal. Is it
dear.
coming together? Is it coming together?
I'm seeing the picture and I hate it so much.
Stuck on You.
Oh God, Stuck on You.
And what's so interesting about Something About Mary is the Farrelly brothers, like, they had a huge success with Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
They did Hall Pass, they did Me, Myself, and Irene, so, like, doing well. And then the late movies before this one started to kind of, like, not do great. So this was like, okay, we might be getting rid of these guys. But Something About Mary exploded.
Yeah.
It was something like under 40 million to make and made over like 350 million.
Oh my gosh. Jesus.
So then they got back on the map and then they did all the other freaking crazy movies. But I'm just gonna guess that I really wouldn't enjoy hanging out with them.
No, I think there'd be a lot of fart jokes, and I have a feeling I would get mooned. And I don't want that. I don't want to see that.
Okay.
You know what this movie reminded me of? I was like, this is like the first scary movie. Like, it's got that vibe where you're like, did you need to make that type of joke? Because, like, there's other jokes you could make.
Yes.
Why don't you go watch Scary Movie 3 and take a page, okay? Because they know what they're doing.
We need to break this down.
Okay.
So, I think this is a movie we go scene by scene because character-wise, ridiculous. So, like, there's no character to talk about. It's just these random people doing random stuff at random moments.
Yep.
And what's weird about this movie is obviously people would say it's a comedy, but they try to put some serious themes in it. And I think that's where I got annoyed because if they made certain tweaks, it could actually be like a really good movie, but it's so slapstick stupid, like Dumb and Dumber stupid that you're like, this to me, that made sense in 1998. I'm not getting it in 2021. If anything, I think if this movie came out now, it would get slammed.
And I think it should cut out like at least a half hour because there were so many times I was like, oh my God, it's still going.
Okay.
Like, it's like Family Guy humor where you're like, you beat it to the ground. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's dead.
And in the beginning, so as you talk about those two musicians in a tree going,
literally in a tree.
There's something about Mary. It was very Wedding Singer.
Yeah. Oh, I wish that was Adam Sandler instead. That would have been a more happy surprise.
Okay, I get it. Every scene we talk about with this movie, let's talk about the alternate universe we do. So step one is Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler dressed as the Wedding Singer in a tree with a karaoke machine.
Yes, okay, so we're already doing better.
All right, good.
Weirdest prom-esque ever. This is before Cameron. So we zoom into Ben Stiller, and you're right, we're like, he's a nerd because he has braces and like a really weird hair situation going on. Like, it looked like old man hair. It was weird.
Yeah.
So he like tries to ask some girl to the prom who blows him off but doesn't say no. She says, you could be my backup plan because I hope this other person asks me.
Yeah.
And then he got excited about that.
He did.
So, yeah. And then I have an exclamation point and I don't know why. Sex in the City, dude! Oh, I know!
Stanford Blatch!
Can you believe that was one of his friends?
Wait, and he also played the one doctor. There was a scene.
Yes.
He was a doctor.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about, there's so many things.
So many things.
I didn't actually even realize he was the long-haired guy right away. Like, it took me a while, and then I was like, oh my God, what? Well, that was the guy who was like, she's going with Woogie from Barrington. And I was like, why do we all know who this person who doesn't go to our school is? Also, his name is Woogie. Guys, I'm just saying, there's better people to know.
Yes. And then we get introduced right away to Warren, who to me is the problem with this movie. There's many problems. This is a huge problem. Who he is intellectually disabled. Is that the right term?
I would say that is correct in this case.
And all of the jokes are at the expense of this character. And I'm telling you, Kate, I went down so many rabbit holes. Like, why aren't people ripping this movie to shreds for how terrible they treat this character? Instead, I found this like whole like white paper from some like researcher that analyzed the Farrelly brother movies and how when their movies exploit what they categorize as others, so people that had some sort of disability or weren't the typical norm, their movies make so much money. When they try to be more sensitive to it, their movies bomb. And so they talked about how it was less about the Farrelly brothers issue and more about the public's issue. And I was like, again, I don't care. I still blame them. Like,
it's giving me a lot of, 2016 election vibes, people, all of the demons who were hiding how you really felt. Y'all showed your true colors, and I'm seeing your true colors with these Something About Mary ratings right here.
It's weird.
And again, like, I would like to think, because the only good thing is like, okay, he's related to her, so there's always going to be a defense. But also, like you said, there were jokes. And there were a lot of times where it was like, she wasn't there, or like something like that was happening, or people were talking about it. And it's a shame because like, you think of representation and like, in real life, there are people like this, or there are people who have a sibling like this who is an adult, and it's just not the best representation.
Well, and again, I don't understand how people still love this movie, but at the time, the Farrelly brothers, if I was to defend them, were the only ones actually putting people like that in movies, because the way of all the other movies were like hide those types of people. So you could argue that they were doing like some good by like putting it front and center, but then they just exploited them and all the jokes were at their expense. I'm just really annoyed by it. It was depressing. It really was.
Even a part in the movie where Matt Dillon, like, says, he says the R word, and then she, like, kind of starts to be like, first of all, she should have, like, slapped him in the face, but instead she was like, isn't that, like, not politically correct? And then he, like, went on a weird story about, oh no, I work with someone like that.
Mongo.
Then he basically described a monkey, and then somehow Mary got, like, lost because it went on for too long, because all these scenes went on too long, and then she forgot that he was like an asshole, and she was like, oh my god, we should go on a date. I was like, what is this?
Wait, we have to go back. He makes up somebody named Mongo, says that Mongo has a driveway of a forehead, it's so big, and they kept him in cages and they enjoyed it, and she was like, what? The cages? You can't do that, are you kidding me? And he was like, that's what I said, like, they can't hold me back from hanging out with people like that or something, those little and you're just like, I mean, he was so clueless.
Like, he literally was describing, like, a monkey from the zoo. I was like, what? Mary, like, you gotta stay focused, girl. I know there's, like, a lot of things happening.
She's supposed to be an orthopedic surgeon, and I'm like,
oh my god.
Again, I'm, like, missing. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so, Warren, I think that, like, it was good to have his character throughout, so you didn't have every scene of, like, exploiting Warren. So you did have scenes where he was just always there, hanging out, or doing other things. Like, okay, fine, I like that. I like that he, like, stayed, right? Because Mary and him were close.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I wrote for Ben Stiller's hair in his young phase. I wrote King Arthur haircut.
Oh no, little King Arthur. That's pretty apropos, as our little sister Mary used to have a King Arthur haircut when she was a toddler.
Mary. She'll never. So then basically Ben Stiller sticks up for Warren because these jerky kids, like, are not realizing that he has a disability, and so they're
no,
like... No,
they didn't care. Again, 2016 election. Like, come on, people.
So that's when Mary's like, oh, thanks for helping, blah, 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 and then they go home together, and then, in that walk, then they get close enough to ask each other the problem.
She asked him! I was like, wait, Mary. Like, this is, like, where we should have known that, like, Mary is a little impulsive. And maybe really lonely. I don't know. Like, what's going on, Mary? You just, like, date people you meet for 10 seconds. I'm so confused.
Then when he goes and tells his friends, they're so mean to him. They're like, there's no way.
He's going with Woogie from Borrington High.
Like, Ben, why are you friends with... What was his name in the movie? I can't even think of his name. I keep calling him Ben.
Ben Stiller? His name is Ted.
Ted.
Yeah.
All of Ted's friends were terrible to him. They were like, you are the worst person ever. She would never even look at you. And he's like, but guys, she's what?
Well, funny thing, that theme seems to last throughout all of Ted's life because his friends when he's an adult suck too. So,
Terrible.
Yep.
So we get to, I think, the Farrelly brothers were like, okay, we need to have like crazy funny scenes. And this was their like wild scene where he gets his penis and
Yes.
balls stuck in a zipper.
Yes. Because he decided to use the bathroom to pee while Mary, she had to like fix part of her dress. You're like, okay, this is like normal. We're doing normal things now. That's great. But there's a giant window that he is literally next to. And he's peeing, and, like, it's open, and why do you do that? Don't do that. And then that's how we get where we are.
I'm so confused. He's staring at doves, and all of a sudden the house is in an L shape? Like, how is he... Does the house wrap around a U? Because how is he looking out the window and across the way there's a tree? There's a tree in between. He's somehow looking at Mary, who, by the way, just had to fix a strap, but then she got butt naked to do that. That's not how that works.
Because males wrote this movie and we
Yeah, she was naked a lot. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous. Although, I'm not gonna lie, there were, like, some parts in here that I thought were funny, like, where they sent the dad in. They were like, you go, like, you're a man. And he was like, I don't want to go, I don't like it, whatever. And the dad gets in there, and he goes, it's the stepdad, I should say. So the stepdad's like, oh my god, like, this is horrible. And then he goes, I'm gonna give it, my wife in here. And he's like, no, don't bring her in. And he goes, she's a dental hygienist, she'll know what to do. See, like, stuff like that. I was like,
yeah,
that's
that was
funny.
Good. It was good.
And what was also funny was, the giant window. They're both talking, the mom and the stepdad, and they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? And literally, so casually, a cop walks up to the window and goes, hey there, folks, I heard there was a disturbance over here. I laughed really hard at that. That's so random. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on, but this is great.
This was obviously, like, they were trying to be, like, extreme. But what do you think about actually seeing his, like...
No, that's what I mean. I was like, you didn't need to show it. That's not funny. Like, I'm not sitting there laughing at that. I'm laughing when random police officers are walking up to windows. Because, like, why? Also, a fireman came. I don't know why. I forget why that happened. He just appeared. And he also walked through the bathroom door. So I was like, wait, okay, this is great.
And the whole, like, okay, we're just gonna go down the way we went up. 1, 2, and then, like, screaming
We got up later.
yeah. And they're, like, taking him into the ambulance, and they drop him. And then he's like, ah!
There was also a line from the stepdad that was said, like, in the background as he's getting the ambulance. He's, like, off screen, and he goes, none of this ever happened to Woogie. Which, again, I was like, that's funny.
Yep.
Give me more of that. But
I did read he ad-libbed a lot.
Okay, well, that guy was great, so
he's amazing.
To you.
What's his name? He's amazing. Keith David.
Okay.
But basically, after this scene, then we jump to present day, right?
Yeah.
And he's in an office with a therapist who basically leaves the room, or was it in the room as he was like, Katie, what is your professional opinion about that therapist?
A little unethical, but I was also really excited that it was Mr. Doback from Step Brothers. I was like, thank God you're here because you are a joy. Yeah, don't do that. If you're hungry, just wait the hour or however long you got because, like, they're not long. They're usually not long. You can make it. Well, and then he made a really weird, like, he started to make, like, homophobic comment and was, like, talking about, like, how gay men go to rest stops. And I was like, but people go to rest stops. So I'm confused about, like, this. But then the movie went on, I was like, ugh, really? It was a lame joke.
It was a lame joke. Again, it's, like, at the expense of people.
Right.
Then, right after that, we get introduced to Woogie! Because Woogie wouldn't have done that!
But we don't know it's Woogie! And I didn't even write down, like, I don't even know the character's normal name. I didn't write it down. I just wrote Chris Elliot.
Well, and Schitt's Creek, so everyone knows this guy now.
Yeah.
But he is so terrible to his wife.
Oh my god! He's just terrible. He's all around terrible. And again, I was like, why do I have to watch you as a character? Yeah.
Every scene he was in, I'll be honest, I just didn't like. I was like...
No. That's why I was like...
why are you here?
There wasn't a scene he was in that I thought was funny, which again is a shame, because, like, if you have watched Schitt's Creek, like, he is funny. He's so really funny. And honestly, that kind of character is, like, kind of similar, where you're like, oh, you're kind of like, like stupid and like whatever. But no, this guy was like just a jerk and he was weird and I hate it.
But like in Schitt's Creek, he still like loves and respects his wife.
And he's nice to other people. Even if he's like busting their chops, like he's not like malicious. This guy is a demon. Like he was just not good.
Well, and there's the one scene, so he's a lawyer, and then there's the one scene in like The Office where it was like 2 girls died. What are we responsible for? I was like, Jesus!
I was like, this is all stupid. I hate it all.
Yes. So then this is when all of a sudden Ted is like, Mary, Woogie, you don't understand. I can't live my life. Oh, sorry. He's like, friend, I don't know who's Woogie, which like, really, you don't know who's Woogie? Okay.
I didn't know it was Woogie. What do you mean?
But like...
That pulled the rug out of me. I'm not gonna lie. I just thought it was a funny name.
How long has Ted been friends with this guy?
Well, that actually is a good question, because there was a line where he was like, what's our friendship status anyway? And I was like, what? What does that mean? Like, what? Do you guys know each other? What's going on? I'm worried.
And we didn't know how they met, like, if they worked together.
They didn't work together.
I know, but, like, it's just stupid. Okay, but again, we're like, okay, this is a stupid movie world. But, okay, we meet Woogie, whatever, and the only thing that was, like, good about his character is he was challenging Ben Stiller on, what do you mean, Mary? Like, that's from so long ago. What are you doing? That's weird. Like, he's kind of like your stalker. That's weird.
But then you find out Woogie was also a major stalker, and that's probably why he was like, here's a private investigator. It's all for you.
Crazy.
What?
Crazy.
I don't know what type of movie this is.
I mean, there could be like a horror movie with this. We all see it now.
There is a horror movie with this because there were scary parts, and I was like, I don't know about it.
Okay, then we meet Matt Dillon, and I'm with you. I think he made this movie.
He was very ridiculous. And again, I'm like, when do you get to be ridiculous? This is great. You should be ridiculous more.
He was so good at it. Like, okay, so we are introduced to him. He stands up at his desk, and his pants are unbuttoned, and he just starts tucking in his shirt.
I didn't even notice that.
Says nothing. Just stares at Ben Stiller.
Oh, I hate that.
And all you see is like gross boobs behind him on like calendars. But somehow he wasn't like, he missed the creepy factor with it. He kind of just had the like, I just had Thanksgiving dinner. Like, I didn't get the vibe that he was like, yeah, I just did naughty things. I got the vibe that he was like, I just hate wearing pants. And so...
Also, one of the other funniest parts about this movie overall was his character's mustache.
I wrote that everywhere.
Well done.
Mustache! Whoa!
That was a good choice. If we didn't have the mustache, I don't know, guys. Might not have been as funny. So...
Yes.
And then he's friends with Jeffrey Tambor?
Which is like... How many white old dudes are we going to give roles to in this movie?
Well, they were in Florida, so, you know.
Well, basically, it was like his backup private investigator friend. Like,
I guess. I was kind of like, part of me was like, why is this a character? Like, I'm so confused. We didn't need, like, there's just so many characters. You're like, do we need all these characters? I don't know about that.
I don't think we did, but we did. So
we did, yeah.
And they were kind of like making fun of Ben Stiller being like, what a stalker. And so again, everyone's calling him a stalker, and here we are.
Yeah.
And then, because, I don't know, poor Cameron Diaz just has to be naked all the time, we now see another picture of her by a window, naked.
Well, she's in her undies, but still. She's halfway there.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What did you notice about Mary's character the entire movie?
No bra.
No bra! Thank you!
No bra.
Listen.
How did you not notice? It's gonna poke someone's eye out.
Okay, thank you. And let me tell you, for women that don't want to wear bras, great. I love it. You go. I just had a feeling she didn't have a choice.
She definitely didn't at all.
Right? Because the only time we didn't have to deal with it was when she put her doctor coat on, which I was like, is this how you're trying to save this? That she's like a doctor?
Which also it was just said she was, like, we never saw her do doctor things ever.
We saw her in the office once.
But she didn't do anything in there.
No,
she wasn't
nothing.
working.
Nothing.
Oh my God. Yeah, there were a lot of things. Okay, but...
Yes, I know where you're going.
But another saving grace of the few in this movie was Magda.
Magda.
Thank God for Magda. What a peach. Where is she?
Kate?
I want to hang out. I'm ready to go.
Kate, as Jersey girls, how many Magdas do we know?
I love all of them. They're amazing. Every Magda I've ever met is amazing.
So Magda's like, what, 60s? We're thinking 60s?
I think so, because there was something said where it was like, oh, her husband, you know, he had passed away. So I was assuming it was like
she was
something
older.
like that. Yeah, but she wasn't like a grandma.
No. But she was the tannest white lady you'd ever seen, to the point that she looked like leather skin.
She did.
And she had the big frizzy. I was
Blonde.
like, are you sure she's not from Jersey? Because we know her.
No, she's from Florida. Those are Florida people, Bridget.
It's people that then retire in Florida.
Yeah. But she had a cute dog named Puffy.
Okay, interesting experience. As a kid, I was like, oh, Magda, ew, gross. As an adult, I kind of dug her.
Magda was so cool because she was super nice to everyone, and she just liked to hang out and drink, and she had a dog. That's it. That's all you need.
But she was very funny, and, you know, Puffy only barks at bad people.
That whole subplot didn't like that.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't like any of it.
We're gonna get there. So now we go to, because as Matt Dillon is basically stalking her to get the skinny, and then this is when he falls in love. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha.
He then watches her golf. And here's the thing that annoys me about her character, okay? Any girl that's so hot has the best job, is like single, fun, and free. She also loves to golf and loves sports and is a guy's girl. She likes guys that drink real beer and hot dogs. It's like there was an archetype for what men liked from cool girls.
I mean, men wrote this movie, so.
I know, but like I was like disappointed that it's like, okay, I like that you made her normal, and she was always like the person that's like, what? You guys are weird. Or she was just trying to be like funny, and she was very interesting, but then you like gave her all this weird extra.
She didn't have a lot of flaws either. The only flaw, and I don't think the movie meant this to be a flaw in all honesty, but in my opinion, the only flaw she had was that she just dates people she doesn't know, and like don't like get to know people a little first. Like, take it easy, girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then we get to meet another hilarious character who was from our last movie with Jack Black, School of Rock. Who
yes, Sarah Silverman!
Sarah Silverman in the 90s had like the weirdest roles.
Okay, but I will say, of that friend group, I was like, yo, Sarah Silverman's character got the best lines. Like, either she ad-libbed or they just gave her the funniest lines, because I felt like she was the only one that had like a personality, and then all the other friends like could have just been one person and not like three other people, and it would have been fine. I don't even know if there were three. There might have only been two other ones. I don't know. I blacked out. They were all the same, except Sarah Silverman.
Wait, what were the lines you remember her saying?
Cameron Diaz is like, I just want a guy who's like, you know, real, like blah, blah, blah. And she says something about like farting. And Sarah goes, you want a guy that farts? And I was like, thank you for pointing that out. That's weird.
Oh, I know what she said. She was like, I want a guy that drinks real beer, wants to go to a baseball game with me, and like drink hot dogs and like farts. And she's like, wow, you're trying to find an overweight dude to go to a baseball game and fart with you? How will you ever find him?
I know. I was like, you could like go find someone right now and do that. But also like, don't date them right away. Maybe like learn the name first. It's gonna be alright. And then she makes a whole comment where she goes, I want someone who's self-employed so they can go anywhere. And then this becomes like part of Matt Dillon's lie. But then there's a part later in the movie with Ben Stiller where he's like, I love Rhode Island. She's like, I'm staying in Miami. There's too much here. What the flip are you talking about? You just talk about you want to be like a little nomad and like some bullshit about Nepal, but then later in the movie, like literally like a half hour later, you're like, just kidding. I live in Miami.
Okay, even if we're being too tough, right? And you're like, it's a comedy, it's slapstick, we're supposed to whatever. It was distracting.
Yeah.
She could have just said like, I want a guy that like is self-sufficient, right? And like she still comes off the same, and it could be any job.
Saying, I want someone who's self-employed who can just get up and go wherever. You make it sound like that's how you are, but you're not like that. So why the fuck do you want to date someone like that if they are nothing like you? That sounds like you're not going to get along. Also, you probably ended up with a guy that you're not going to end up getting along with because you knew him for 10 hours. So should have gone with Brett Favre.
Drink every time Katie mentions that.
Yes.
Okay, wait. Then we go to, this is also, folks, drink again, another naked window scene of Cameron Diaz. And the joke is that Matt Dillon has the binoculars and he's going to see her boobs, and instead it's Magda's droopy boobs. Magda's
boobs.
fried droopy boobs.
Boobs.
And I literally, at the capital letters, just wrote boring jokes.
Yeah. I just, again, like, could have done without.
And then this is when he, I guess, as we learn, falls for Mary and decides to lie to Ben Stiller and say that she's big boned, she's disabled, has 4 kids, 3 different dads, basically listing all things that you're like, wait, so this determines someone's terrible? Like,
he talks about fat people, single moms, people in wheelchairs, and poor people.
yes.
Yep. So what the
All while in the middle of a Budweiser product placement. Did you notice that?
So many product. There were a lot of Dunkin' Donuts product placements. I'm like, get out of my face! It's nighttime! I don't want you!
Unless, listeners, you'd like to buy us some coffee, which you can go to our Ko-Fi site.
Speaking of coffee, listeners. Speaking of that.
Well, and then here's where the movie, like, just continually makes me nuts, is then Ben Stiller, because he's such a good guy, wakes up in his bed and he says, you know what? I really think I still want to see Mary, even with all those terrible things, because I'm a great guy, right? The eye roll, Tina Fey eye roll, like, my eyes are stuck at the top of my head. And then, but then when he goes back, Matt Dillon's already like, I'm leaving for a rice-a-roni job in Florida or something.
Oh my
like,
God. But this was another scene where I was like, this could have been such a shorter scene, everyone. Like, we're talking about rice-a-roni for like 10 minutes, I feel like. I can't do it. I can't.
You know what? It's lame. It's lazy and it's lame.
It is. It is.
So then, oh my God, I used like a cool term. I want to know if I get this right.
Okay.
So then basically this is when Matt Dillon runs into Cameron and I go, he negs her. Did I get that right?
Negs? What does that mean?
Oh, do you not know what that means?
I don't know. Am I not hip?
Oh.
Is it like what the youth say? They say a lot of stuff.
I said it wrong. It's negging.
Ugh.
And it's an act of emotional manipulation where a person makes a deliberate backhanded compliment or otherwise flirtatious remark to another person to undermine their confidence and increase their need of the manipulator's approval.
Okay, well, that's intense.
Well, I just found the whole like interaction to be so weird. He was like, here's my architecture drawings and I have a place in Nepal. And she's like, what? Everything that I just happened to say, you know? Are you my perfect guy? And I'm like, wait, why?
This is my notes for this part. I go, Matt Dillon's character sucks at flirting. Oh, Jesus, what? Nepal? What? Mary, no. Oh, Jesus, fake blueprints. Mary, no. And then this is when he starts talking about the developmentally disabled. And I go, yes, Mary, thank you for like calling him out. But then she like stops. And then I was like, okay, now Matt Dillon's describing a monkey. And I was like, Mary, no, go back to yelling at him. God damn it. Don't fall for him. Then she asked him on a date. So that was a horrible progression.
Horrible. Horrible.
So bad. I hated all of it.
Okay. So then we, where do I get to? Oh, then this is when...
This is Stanford Blatch.
Yes. And he's the one that tells Ben Stiller, oh, I know Mary, she's doing great. Yeah, she's like...
Oh,
she's
right,
still
right,
a fox. And, you know, and then Ben Stiller's like, what? That guy lied. I'm on my journey now to Florida to really stalk in person?
Yep. He's doing it.
What?
Wait, okay. I have something to say about this because this is again where I started to be like, I thought this was a romantic comedy movie and like now I don't know what kind of movie it was. And then
it's creepy.
This part made me start thinking, is this turning into a Biohazard, potentially like zombie movie? Because, let me explain. Because Stanford Blatch, when he's the doctor, he had like a giant pimple. Did you see that?
Yes, a giant pimple.
So, okay, like there's makeup in Hollywood. So either you guys deliberately put that there, and if you deliberately put that there, then I think that's going to be part of the plot. And then it wasn't talked about. But then, right after that, Chris Elliot's character, he has a boil. And then Ben Stiller points out, he's like, hey, he got a little something. And that's the first time it's brought up. So to me, I'm like, is this like a virus movie now? And like, is this Outbreak? Because I am sweating and I don't know where we're going. But then it wasn't. It wasn't at all. And I was like, why did we have pimples?
No, actually, you could keep going because at this stage, he gets in the car, picks up the murdering hitchhiker.
Oh my God.
And then stops to pee at a rest stop. that just has a bunch of like men giving themselves
So
oral
weak.
sex, and this is the homophobic bullshit. And then
Yep.
he gets thrown in jail, which then they think he's the murderer, and then they somehow let him out because they found the guy. That didn't need to be in the movie at all.
At all. Like, do less. I need
What?
way less. That whole car scene where, before they get to the rest stop, that scene, I just felt like it went on so long.
So long.
And, like, he just kept talking about it. He's like, yeah, so, like, the 8-minute abs, but it's 7. It felt like 5 minutes. Like, I was so tired, Bridget. Like, I just, like, was having such a hard time.
Well, I feel like it was like, let's give another random role to another random white dude because.
This was the only good thing that came out of that scene. The guy goes, 7 little chipmunks sitting on a branch, eating little sunflowers at my uncle's ranch. You know that old saying.
I didn't catch that.
You could have literally just done that, and, like, I would have laughed so hard. Because he was saying it in relation to, like, no, 7 minutes is the perfect amount of time, and then he says the little poem.
It's just so stupid. And so then we have Tucker, who is basically another person who is physically disabled that now we're also having jokes at their expense.
You know how they sometimes do, like, you can watch a movie and then you get, like, a Q&A with the directors after? I wish I went to one of these because I would have just, like, kept my hand raised the whole time. And this is what I would have asked. I would have said, excuse me, why is Tucker here? What? Can you explain? And then they'd give some bad reason and be like, no. Like, think about it. Like, did we need him? I don't know.
I imagine you in this Q&A with the Farrelly brothers in a future movie, which is you being the lawyer for Abigail Breslin as you fight the child beauty pageant industry, and then you go into the old 90s comedies and you take away the jokes.
Okay, this is going to be a little podcast flashback, but do you remember when we did the movie Clerks and I kept talking about the Clerks animated series and how amazing it was? There was one episode where it was like a courtroom like drama, and there was one part where Randall was like, I'm gonna be my own lawyer, and he's like, I call to the stand Steven Spielberg, and then he just like basically like asked them questions about their movies, and then he's like, I want my money back for that stupid decision, and then it's like Steven Spielberg and like George Lucas is so funny. So that would be me, honestly.
That would be you.
Like,
You
bring
would
the
be
Farrelly
like
brothers to the stand right now. I don't give a shit. It's not related to our case. I want my $5 back because I pay $5 to watch this. So, yep.
Oh my god. And at this stage, Matt Dillon is actually like killing it with Mary, and like somehow they're going on a date, she's kissing him, and somehow it's like they're a thing now. They're like actually dating.
Happened in a day. I don't know. Who knows?
Then somehow, which I didn't understand, how did Woogie get down to Florida with Ben Stiller to push Ben Stiller to say hi to Mary? How did that happen?
Because he got picked up at the police station? It was like I think Chris Elliot got him out of the...
Oh, and that's how we get him. Okay, so that made sense. So that's why we needed that really stupid scene. We had to figure out how to get Woogie.
But, like, we didn't, because, like, you could have just wrote, like, that they went down together because he was being a friend. But you would have had to write him as a better friend. And I guess that's hard to do. So we didn't. So we made gay jokes instead.
So, basically, then he meets Mary, and at this point, Mary's kind of getting sick of Matt Dillon because Matt Dillon got a whole new set of teeth? Is that what happened?
Wait, I did not, I didn't realize that happened, and then, like, a couple scenes went by, and I was like, does he have veneers? What is this?
Yes, he does.
Are you in a child beauty pageant, Matt Dillon? Because I know that happens in Florida, so what's happening?
Yes. So she's like, oh my god, I haven't seen you since high school. And honestly, would we have this conversation with somebody from high school that we like knew for 3 seconds? Would we have
I'd give a nice wave and be like, I gotta go right now. Bye.
Yeah.
Although little sprinkles of actual comedy was Warren, because he was standing there with them. He sees Ben Stiller and he goes, Frank's a beast!
I agree.
And I laughed really hard at that. I was like,
agree.
yes, Warren, that's right.
Thank you for actually making us laugh.
Yes,
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christmas.
And so, okay, so then she's like, yeah, I'll go out to dinner with you and I'll ditch my Matt Dillon. And at the same time, Tucker then totally validates because he makes up a whole story that Matt Dillon is a serial killer.
Okay, and again, because I didn't know what this movie was, I didn't know what I was watching, I didn't know what was happening, I was like, this is turning now into a Lifetime movie because I thought that was real. Like, I thought it was like, no, he like murdered people. Because when he's listening in the car, he's like laughing about it. He's like, like there's a part where he's like, yeah, he murdered someone, but he got off like a bail or he was like acquitted or something. Matt Dillon's like, yeah. I was like, what? Did you really kill someone or not? I don't know anymore. I don't know. And then later it was like, no, I never did that. I was like, what the fuck am I looking at?
And then Cameron Diaz, she should get paid more money that she had to deal with this movie. Then she has to act as if, wow, now I know the guy I've been dating is a murderer and I have to like sit with that. And then we go out on a date with the dude from high school from 13 years ago.
And then she puts in her hair.
Okay, wait, let's back up.
Oh, God.
Woogie is like, yo, before a date, you're too nervous, you gotta choke the chicken, aka jerk off.
AKA a man wrote this movie.
We should probably, like, say in the beginning of this podcast that this is kind of X-rated, because there's, like, a lot of dirty stuff in this movie.
I say explicit for every single episode. Even Babe was explicit, so they're all explicit.
But, okay, so here's the thing. The biggest scenes, right? The zipping up the balls and this one, for whatever reason, I felt both of them were hilarious. But, like, the rest of the movie is what made me so mad.
I didn't like the scene.
You didn't?
Because they like, again, I just felt like it went on for too long. I was like, I'm watching Ben Stiller pretend to masturbate for like 2 minutes.
Okay,
and there's noises.
Yeah.
You could have done the end part where like we know it's over and then like we get the picture. But like instead you were like, actually guys, I'm gonna like drown you.
Totally agree. I think like this scene, right? Like going on a date, you're so nervous that you like get persuaded by your friend to jerk off and like somehow, like it's a movie, right? So you somehow lose the semen and then it ends up on your ear. Okay, again, funny, but you're right. It's the fillers. It's the fillers that it's the worst part.
It's the way that they did them.
Yeah.
Also, I think he has like some type of illness because like that was like, I don't know what that was.
What do you mean?
That looks not
You have
okay.
to describe it. We're on a podcast.
It just looked like, it didn't look like a liquid. It looked like a solid. And I know we all went through science, so, like, you guys know that's not right. Like, that's not what it's supposed to look like. It should not be a gas or a solid, and it was definitely a solid. And I was like, something's not right about that.
Looking at the table of elements, I have a feeling that, okay, but again, I will defend that the concept is hilarious, and then her big giant hair, I'll be honest, like, that made me laugh really hard, because she's such a, like, relaxed character that she's like, oh, thanks, this is great, and then she never sees herself in the mirror, so it's never, like, I like the fact that we never had to really let her see it, because then eventually her hair, like, falls down, and I was like, you know what, that's funny. That's really, like, to me, that was really, really funny, and he had to, like, play, like, it was fine, because he's so embarrassed. Loved it. But then in the, like, the dinner, he's like asking her if she had had sex with Matt Dillon. And I'm like, what? This is still your high school friend. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's like weird. She like answers instead of being like, what?
Well, and then of course they have like a great date for her, which like it was minimal, like 4 out of 10. Okay, it was a 4 out of 10 date.
You got your hair, so.
But then they make themselves up because the next scene is Magda and Puffy with little cucumbers on his eyes.
Oh my god! This is again. This is what I wrote. I go, Magda is a inspiration. I want to get
this the meme. Make this the meme.
There has to be Etsy art of like that. And if there isn't, somebody make that, because I'll buy it.
I have so many things to get you. Like, I have a list of things that I need to get. But that is genius, Kate. And if so not, funny. I'm drawing that for you.
Oh my god, it was great. But then it was like, that was only there so that they could, like, throw drugs at the dog. Oh, and also, somewhere before this, Matt Dillon and Tucker, whose actual name is Norm, and he's a pizza guy, now they're friends. And again, I don't know how we got there, but it took too long.
Listeners,
That's all I know.
if you're confused, you should be. Because there's too many characters in this movie.
There's too many. Tucker, who are you? Tucker Norm,
that
what
mean
are
nothing.
you?
And I laugh that Matt Dillon's like, I'm gonna get that Tucker because he says I'm a murderer and I'm gonna get him, and not Ben Stiller, who obviously...
Well, and again, I thought he really was a murderer because I don't know what movie I was watching. So I was like, oh, he's literally gonna go murder Tucker. Like, Tucker's gonna die. You know what? I'm not gonna be too sad because, like, there's too many characters. And then, no, now Tucker's a main character forever. I was like, God damn it, people. Oh. We had an opportunity. Yeah, no, I don't know. They're friends, and I don't even remember. Why did they even drug the dog? It's him and Tucker, and they were throwing speed.
Oh.
And then it landed in Magda's martini, and then Magda was vacuuming like crazy, which was, like, funny, but then I was just confused because I was like, wait, but they're not even going up to the apartment, so, like, I don't understand why.
Oh my God, I don't either.
Like, what? I don't know. Why did we do that? Because what happens then is Mary comes back from the date with Ben Stiller, and then it's like a like, not funny dog bit my crotch joke, and you're like, okay.
And then the dog jumped out the window.
And then it was in a full body cast, but, like, that was only one scene, and then it's never in that again, and that's it.
This poor dog, we've, like, electrocuted it, drugged it.
He caught on fire! I was like, this is fucking up. I hate this. I don't like it. I don't like it. Leave Puffy alone, leave Magda alone, they're fucking saints.
Okay, in that side movie with you and Abigail Breslin, your best friend is Magda, and you've started, like, a puppy daycare.
Oh my God! Magda lives in my apartment, and we have martinis. And we wear cucumbers on our eyeballs. Yep.
At this part of the movie, everything just, like, slams into
what
fast
part are we
forward.
at? I don't even know.
Kate, we both agreed we don't like this movie. It high speeds into Ben Stiller now has actually a shot with Mary because they're on, like, a montage of dates. Matt Dillon and Tucker are like, we're gonna get him, and then Woogie is just, as you call it, in outbreak. And he's like, I'm gonna get her too.
Well, because she gets a letter, an anonymous letter that was like, Ted hired a private investigator.
Yes.
To find you. So then she confronts him about it, and then he's like, yeah, I did that. After she was like, hey, I had a really scary stalker and life was horrible. And again, like, they played it as a joke, and I was like, that's really scary.
And she had to change her name.
Yeah, she changed her name and where she lived, and like... Like, is this a Lifetime movie? Is this a horror movie? Is this a zombie outbreak movie? I don't know. Where are we?
So Woogie sent the letter.
Yeah, Woogie sent the letter because Ted thought it was Matt Dillon, and he confronts him, and Matt Dillon's like, it wasn't me, it must have been Tucker. And Tucker's like, it wasn't me. And then and then that's where okay, oh my God, there's so much plot in this stupid movie. Okay, so then somehow in that scene, Tucker, who is Norm, goes, yeah, I love Mary. That's why I had to get rid of Brett. And he's like, you got rid of Brett. And we don't know it's Brett Favre. I didn't know, at least.
I didn't know either.
I was very surprised. And he was like, yeah, I made up a lie about him, and then that's why she broke up with him, and like, whatever. So then that's what Ted then goes and gets Brett to bring to Mary, and then thank God we're finally at the end of this movie, because holy oh my God, how did we get here?
Well, and then basically they all are in her apartment demanding for Mary to pick a love interest, and you're telling me between these three ding-dongs and Brett Favre, she's gonna go with Ben Stiller. Trash.
Yep. They dated for like 2 or 3 years, and she was like, it was a great relationship, but then he said something mean about my brother. But then you find out that was a lie. So like the only thing you didn't like about him now doesn't exist. So I'm confused, because like there's a billion things we don't like about Ted. Remember when he stalked you? I do. It happened yesterday. It's happening right now. Uh-oh, Mary, open your eyeballs. It was stupid. I was so angry that's how it ended.
I was just following and being like, and all I have in capital letters is, I am eye-rolling so hard.
I literally wrote, I go, this movie will redeem itself if Mary picks Brett Favre to be with.
Nope.
She doesn't. The movie did not redeem itself.
So painful. And listen up, listeners. Maybe we're wrong, okay? Maybe you go back and watch it and you don't see what we see. But if you trust us and you're listening to episode 49...
48.
48. Don't waste your time. Don't waste it. You're going to waste your time if you watch this. Just remember the stupid scenes when you were a child, put it on a pedestal, and lock it away in a box. It's just not going to do it for you now. It's going to make you sad and angry.
Don't waste your $5 unless you are a lawyer and you can bring the Farrelly brothers to the stand and say, what was the deal with There's Something About Mary? I want my $5 back. And they hand you a $5 bill. That's the only acceptable way.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
so
we'll never have to watch it again, I guess.
Well, it's so I was holding back hardcore on, wow, maybe she thinks it's funny and I don't. Because again, I Googled and nothing. And then I was like, wow, maybe I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being sensitive or maybe we're just, I don't know. But you're with me. This is a stupid movie.
Oh, I'm tired. It's tiring.
It was tired. It's tiring when you're mad at a movie. It's so much better when you like a movie.
The only thing I liked was Magda, Puffy, and Matt Dillon's mustache because it was funny to laugh at. And Mary's stepdad. That's about it. There's something about Magda. That should be the remake. And literally it's just Magda hanging out, living her best life.
Oh my God, she would redeem it. She'd be like, yeah, I used to know this woman, Mary, but she died from all the stalkers that she just accepted into her life.
She literally got murdered the next day by Ted because he was a murderer because, you know, they were all stalkers. She'd have gone with Brett Favre. Oh my God, then Magda's dating Brett Favre. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, I love it.
All right, I think we have done enough with this movie. I'm over it.
Yep.
And are you ready for the next movie?
Yeah.
Because I was going to pick this a while ago, and this movie, Something About Mary, was 1998. The movie I'm picking is 1996.
96, okay.
Now, this movie it's a live action / animated, when I say this, you're gonna know it, sports comedy film. Welcome to the Space Jam! Do you dance? Do you dance? Space Jam! Alright.
Come on and slam!
Oh,
and welcome to the jam! If you wanna slam, then do your jam! This is my karaoke song. I sang this at your bachelorette. Don't forget!
So, the reason that I want to pick this is because I don't know exactly when, but there's a Space Jam 2 that's coming out this year.
LeBron James.
Yes.
It's going to be on HBO Max, I think.
I don't know when, but I kind of thought, like, I know we only do old school movies, but we could make somewhat of an exception.
Okay. I love it. I mean, you gotta, like, know what you're going into, you know?
Yeah, it's silly and stupid, but, like, it reminds you of cartoons as a kid, because you got Bugs Bunny.
Wow, I did not, when you said cartoon and live action, I thought it was going to be Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I was like, no, that was, like, the 80s, though. That's not, like...
Put that on the list.
And that. It is on my list, Bridget.
That's a great one.
It is on my list of thousands. Come on. Oh my God, I love Space Jam. I'm not kidding. I got that song on my Spotify. Sometimes I bust it out. Quad City DJ. They're the ones who sing it. Y'all want to go to karaoke? I'm ready. I know the words.
So do you, like, read the room of the karaoke joint and you're like,
no.
People need energy and I got a basketball, let's do this?
I don't think I care about the other people. It's just me. It's about me that time. So.
Well, fine. Kate, if you...
Oh, Jesus Christmas.
Just happen to be very open to new guys that you didn't know that were actually stalking you, and you kept giving them the benefit of the doubt, I would fry their like Magda's skin.
Yeah! Toss a martini of them, light it on fire. That's right. Oh, thank you, Bridge.
Yeah.
And Bridge, I think if you were older and you needed a friend, I would go find Magda and just let her hang out with you. And then Penny and Puffy could be puppy friends, and they could wear little cucumbers on their eyeballs and drink doggy martinis.
I have this vision of you just, like, slicing little cucumbers and being like, I'm ready! And then I also hope, like, Brett Favre is there, and we're all just, like, laughing about, like, the dumb ending of this movie.
Brett Favre's like, the biggest regret of my life is being in that piece of Well, and listeners, if you also feel like there's a billion better movies out there, like Bring It On and every other movie that exists in the world, and if you think this movie would have been better as a horror movie, cautionary tale, Hallmark movie, Lifetime original movie, zombie outbreak, Biohazard, the list goes on.
It could even be like a skincare commercial. Like, it could be anything but what it was.
So if you like all of that and agree, you should write us a review, because we love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, a couple other places. It's always appreciated. It's very exciting when we get those, so do that. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. You can go on there. On our front page, if you scroll down, you can request a movie, and we will add it to our list. We've actually got kind of a longer list now, listeners. I'm not gonna lie. Now, we're coming up on our very exciting 50th episode. Well, it's also, okay, because it's like 50th, but then our 1 year is also like 2 weeks later. So I don't know if that's too many celebrations or like if it's just right.
I think it's just right.
Okay, that's what I figured. So we kind of have some of that stuff, but you know, there's a list, don't worry. And you can go on there and do that. And Bridge, what can they do also on our website?
They could buy us a coffee, Kate.
Woo!
And we got a new purchase. And
we did.
I cannot believe the generosity
from
my
gosh.
These people. They're like the Magda. I love them like Magda.
Do you want to say their names, or is it a secret?
I don't think it's a secret. This is who we've done in the past.
Yes.
Prime Nostalgic Podcast.
Prime Nostalgia Podcast peeps. We love them so much. They donated their coffee. They donated their love and kind words.
I love them.
There's just so much love and support. And again, I agree. Just like Magda. Y'all are giving us Magda vibes, and that's a good thing. That's the best person to be compared to in this movie. So
I think I could see us all on like beach chairs with cucumbers on our eyes.
Oh my god.
Toasting.
I would do a whole episode like that, honestly. I don't need to like be able to see. I could just sit there and like chat and yabber on. Well, planting the seed. Yeah, so thank you guys so much. It's very exciting getting, donations like that, because then we can kind of use that, and we've got some ideas lined up of some exciting stuff we'd like to do. But, sometimes stuff involves money. So check those out, write a review, buy the coffee, or just go to our website. All of that is soups appreciated, y'all.
All right.
Well, we'll see y'all next week for
Welcome to the Space Jam.
Here's your chance. Do
your
dance
dance
at the
at the
Space Jam.
All right. Put your
DJ.
hands in the air. Sorry.
If you feel fine, we're gonna take it into overtime. It's gonna be a lot of... I'm gonna try so hard.
So sorry.
I'm gonna show up on Zoom with like a little karaoke microphone. And you're gonna be like, no, please.
I dream of you putting like karaoke background, like Zoom backgrounds.
And I'm just like...
Okay.
That would be great.
Okay. Listeners, we love you. Bye-bye.
Love you.
See you next week. Bye-bye. Love
See
you.
next
Bye-bye.
week. Love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.